Hello, Fitness Kooks. Welcome to Module 1. This one is going to be all about food choices. There's 4 different areas in this module, and what I'm going to have you do is pick 1 or 2 to start. Once those 1 or 2 start becoming a habit for you and you feel like you are no longer having to consciously think about implementing them, we're going to add on another one and then add on another one until you work through the module, okay? So all this information can also be found in the files. If you are more of a visual and you like to read things, go ahead in the files section and you can read through it, or you can listen to this video, or you can do both. Either way, it works perfectly fine. So in this module, we're going to be working, like I said, on 4 different areas. The first area is going to be working on replacing processed foods. The second one is limiting our added sugar intake to 25 grams per day. Our third is building our meals around protein, and the fourth is hand portion guides, okay? So I want you to, like I said, start with 1 or 2, and then we're going to build off of that. A little bit more in depth about what these actually entail. So replacing processed foods. Processed foods is anything that we do to the food that's not naturally found in the environment, okay? And when I talk about processed foods, I mean heavily processed foods. So things like cereal and candies and chips, stuff like that, because you wouldn't go out into the environment and find a bag of chips or something like that. Okay, so we're gonna try to replace as many processed foods as you can. Now, what are we gonna replace them with? I want you to find substitutes or whatnot for whole foods, okay? And when I say whole foods, I mean these are gonna be your things that you can find naturally in the environment. So fruits, veggies, beans, protein, stuff like that, okay? So for instance, some kind of easy swaps that you can do if you're a big chip or a snack eater, you can replace the regular chips with like cassava flour chips, or you can do sweet potato chips, stuff like that. If you're big on candy, if you love to eat candy, you can replace that candy with fruit, because fruit is naturally full of natural sugars. So it's still gonna be giving you that like sugary, yummy taste. It's just not processed sugar, okay? And then another one, let's see, you can replace like breads and stuff with potatoes or whatnot, okay? So that's gonna be the first one. Again, start out slow. And of course, if you need my help, please reach out to me. But we're just gonna try to switch as much processed food as we can. The second one is gonna be limiting your added sugar intake to 25 grams a day, okay? So now before you get scared about this, excuse me, my goodness, excuse me. Before you get scared about this, we are focusing on added sugar. I'm not talking about sugar that's naturally found in fruit, that's naturally found in some veggies, stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about added processed sugar that we put into the food, okay? So on the back of your food labels, you're gonna see underneath carbs and whatnot, it's gonna say how many sugars are in whatever substance that you have, and then it's also gonna say right below that added sugars, okay? So we're focusing on the added sugars, all right? We want to keep that to 25 grams per day. The reason for this is because it's gonna help your gut, your microgut biome. It's gonna help your immune system, and it's just gonna help make you feel better, okay? And so that one is a little bit more difficult. It requires you to look at the ingredients, look at the back of packaging and stuff like that, but you can totally do it, and I have faith in you. To keep track of this, easy ways is you can keep a food journal. You can write it down in your phone, or if you're someone who likes numbers like me, I just keep it in my head throughout the day, and then at the end of the day, I write down my total, okay? So the third one that we're going to work on is adding protein into your meals, or making your meals around protein, okay? The reason why we want to focus so heavily on protein is because that is essentially your building blocks for your body. It helps you build cells, it helps you rebuild muscles, anything when you're sick, your protein cells help out. So we want to make sure that we have adequate enough protein in our body, okay? Sources of proteins are going to be, of course, meats. When you're looking at meats though, I want you guys to pick out lean meats, okay? So again, on the labels, on the packaging, it will tell you what percent is lean, what percent is fat, and whatnot. Usually like chicken breasts are going to be the leanest meat, turkey are the leanest meat, and then you have ground beef and stuff like that. So ground beef, the leanest one that you can get, I believe, is 93% lean, okay? So the reason why we want to just focus on the leaner meat is just because it's going to be more helpful for our body. We can do also fish. Fish is a great source of protein. It's also a great source of fats. You can do anything like egg whites, eggs, Greek yogurt, let's see what else, beans, lentils, tofu if you're vegetarian. There's a bunch of different things that have protein in it. And again, if you need help, please let me know, but start becoming aware of what has protein and build your meals around that, okay? And then the last one is gonna be hand portioning guides. So this one is gonna be a little bit more advanced. So this one I want you guys to save for last until you've gotten the other 3 areas done, and then we will implement the hand portion guides. In the files, it goes a little bit more in depth on the different hand portionings, but pretty much what you're gonna do is you're going to base your meals off your hand in proportion to the different macros. So for instance, your proteins, your fats, your carbs, and then we're gonna add veggies in there too, even though veggies is technically a carb. But pretty much what it does is it just helps you give you a visual of what a portion size looks like, okay? So for instance, this would be a portion size of protein. This would be a portion size of your carbs, your heavy dense carbs, so like grains, beans, stuff like that. This cupped hand would be a portion size for like your veggies, and then your thumb right here would be a portion size for like your fats, okay? So again, we're gonna leave that one for last. When you're ready to implement that one, please let me know and I will go a little bit more in depth. There is a sample meal plan in there as well, but do not think that just because I have a sample meal plan, that's the only thing you can have, okay? I have put this sample meal plan in there so that you guys can start getting some ideas of what those different portion sizes will look like, okay? So like I said, I want you guys to pick 1 or 2 that you wanna work on first. Of course, always touch base with me. Let me know which one that you're going to be working on. At the end of the week, I want you to go ahead and fill out your check-ins forms. Let me know if we're going to go into the next week working on the same things, if we're going to add something, your struggles, all that good stuff in the check-ins, and that's going to also be found in your app, okay? Other than that, you guys, you are going to rock this. Remember, do not be afraid of this journey. You're going to have bumps and successes and failures and get backs ups and everything in between. The most important thing is that you guys do not quit on yourself, okay? I am here in your corner rooting for you guys, so you always have at least one supporter and you have the rest of the Kooks community. So other than that, you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Of course, reach out to me. Other than that, stay kooky.